Hi, and welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a look at Transformers Wild King World Dragnus and his Dragknights. We have World Dragnus here. He is the big high price item for Transformers Wild King. This is like equivalent of a leader, but it's really a Voyager price point. So you get this guy plus those two guys for about $40 US. And yeah, this is a neat, big, chunky, not super dense children's Transformer. Definitely aiming at a younger demographic than the Generations line, but I still really like the way it turned out. This dark black, dark purple almost to black, looks really, really good. I like the pink purple accents, the red. It all just looks awesome, especially with that gold. We've got some big wings that can flap. We've got a tail that can move up and down. We've got some basic articulation as I rip off his knee joint. But you'll notice this is going to be a common thing. He comes apart because he's designed to come apart. He's like a parts forming combiner big guy. We'll see the rest of him. But you can go forward and back. You can go side to side. In Dragon mode, you've got not quite 360 because the arms get in the way, but then you can go 360. It comes up in a way that you can go out. You've got bicep swivel. You do have wrist swivel, which I appreciate. And then you do have swivel on the neck. It's got two joints, which I do appreciate, and an opening mouth. And that is a nice dragon head sculpt, if I do say so myself. I really like the way it looks just as a whole. It's a neat design. It reminds me very much of like RID 2001 Megatron, right? That kind of color scheme and dragon vibe. The Dragknights themselves turn into little dragons. They are much more limited. They use the same core concept as the energy beast from this line. But again, we've got like the gold chain looks really, really good. Gives them this like forbidden, deep, dark, evil vibe. We don't really have much articulation on the wings, the way it's attached. We can kind of wiggle the head up and down. We can go up and down on the tail, and then the feet can kind of wiggle a little bit and go up and down and in and out. And we do have two of them. They are the exact same mold. It's just two of them so that he can do his combination gimmicky stuff, even if you don't have any of the other toys. But of course, you might, and in fact, I do. My goal at some point is to get all of the energy beasts that are dinosaurs. But for right now, if we move our camera just a little bit, for right now, this is what he looks like with two of the energy beasts. So you can see kind of the size difference. Again, smaller than Deluxe, maybe a little bit bigger than Core Class, and then kind of a leader class size-wise. Dragon. Here's how they look together. So of course, with the Dragknights, I at least have four things, although the Dragknights don't have the energy crystals. That's just something the energy beasts have. But here is how he looks with some of the dinosaur tribe. And I haven't watched the show at all. I don't know much about the lore. In terms of transformation, things are pretty simple. I'm just going to do one of the Dragknights. They work the same way. Again, it's the exact same toy. You're going to disconnect. The wings have two pegs that go into holes here. You're going to disconnect those from what are revealed to be the robot mode legs. They can come down like so. And you can kind of see now that this structure is the same. Yes, that core of the robot mode is the same. It has the same double peg connection that is everywhere on this toy, which we'll show during transformation. We're going to open things up and bring these arms down. We can pop out the head. Again, same as the energy beasts. But we have a cute little head sculpt. And we can take this back piece, fold this section down so that this peg goes into the back. We are going to flip around these wings and then connect that like so, and then give him his sword, which can just come up. And it is a big, thick, dumb dragon tail sword. But there is what a Dragknight looks like. And we can do the same thing on the other side. And here is how they look with the Dragon mode. Now, the Dragon mode transformation is very simple. We're going to move the Dragknights to the back. They're going to slide down. That's okay. So, Dragon mode transformation, we're just going to unplug the tail, or it's going to come off again. These are not very strong connections. That's my biggest complaint about the line. It is fun. Like, we can't... This is like a super tight connection, though. Come on. There we go. These double like the 5mm port connections just aren't the most durable. But because they disconnect very easily, like they don't have a ton of grip strength, but I think that means that and he does have wasteful, I should have mentioned that. Because they don't have a ton of grip strength, it means you're not going to break him by dropping him. I think this was purposefully designed to be easy to disconnect for combination, but also because these are younger kids playing with the toys, they want to make sure that the younger kids don't accidentally break them by being too rough. So with the tail off, we can split it apart into two swords. It's got two tabs like that. Then we can come in and we can bring down, and again, this is a result of some joints being stronger than others. We don't want to break this knee joint, disconnect this knee joint. So we're going to bring it down gently and then swap it around. Same thing on this side, bring it up, swap this, bring it down gently. And there we extend the legs up a little bit. We can rotate around up, or we can drop that connection, rotate them around 180, then flip this legs 180. Then we just bring around the hands on either side, and we can come in and we can lift up our neck platform, kind of locking out the dragon, which does have, it's kind of funny, it has a tabbed connection slot here that doesn't really need it for transformation. It's just disassembled to, I guess, as part of the molding process. But that is also something that's a little loose and comes off every now and then. And we can bring this platform up. We can bring our head up, give World Dragnus his swords on either side. And here is World Dragnus in his robot mode. And if we bring our two Dragknights up, here is how this team looks together. And from what I understand, the Autobots and the Decepticons, like Optimus Prime and Megatron, are fighting. They gather up the Energy Beast tribe members, and eventually they both have to confront the threat that is World Dragnus. So here he is with some Energy Beast members in robot mode. And you can see here how the Dragknights are essentially the same toy, but with some different accessories. And I again, for how inexpensive this is as a toy line, I like it. If you're paying import prices, absolutely not worth it. But if you're able to get him in Japan for whatever reason, it's kind of an awesome little playset, because this isn't all they do. Obviously, we're going to move these guys out of the way. We have the articulation of World Dragnus. First off, we have a nice, very anime robot mode head. It's got, decent articulation. That platform can come up a little tighter. There we go. I think it looks pretty dang good. He's got the same arm articulation we saw before, wrist and everything. He does have a chest plate that comes off. Again, it's that same connection. Basically, super modular. It's almost like he's his own armor, like a giant armorizer or weaponizer, because there is so much stuff. Like this arm can come off, the legs can come off. It's all in service of combining, which we'll see shortly. There we go, put it back on. And I like how articulated he is as a figure that does need to tear apart and combine. Now we do have the issue of this knee joint is, and we didn't see it before, the knee joint combination piece is way weaker than the ratchets of the knee joint. So to actually get that to turn, you got to really hold your thumb down on it, and then you can get articulation out of him. No ankle tilt or anything, but again, with the targeted toy line, not really trying to do that. I just think that he's big and menacing, and I really dig it. Now, because the transformation is so fast, to get him back into his dragon mode, because we are going to combine him in dragon mode, we're going to come, drop that head back down, get it up, coming on the back end, flipping this around, flipping this piece up, and then taking our knees, out to the side, and then, you know what, we can just do it this way. Yeah, and then I really gotta freaking wrestle with this thing. There we go. Same thing on this side. There we go. Bringing them around, bringing this down, connecting the tail back, connecting that piece up there, clipping that, and here we have our World Dragnus back in his dragon form, and he can combine with our knights here. So to do that, all we're going to do is take off his legs, rip those off. This piece can stay like so. Then we're just going to take these pieces and we're going to rotate the toes down and rotate this piece down. Same thing on this side. Rotate this, rotate that. We've got big old dragon feet, and I think they are supposed to go this way. We're going to take a Dragknight. We're going to separate out the accessory pieces, so we're just left with the core bot. Bring that head in, bring it up, close it up tight, bring these feet down, and they do have, there we go, little tabs to lock him up. Lock in those feetsies, bring the feet up. No, I was wrong. We want to flip these arms the other way, and we actually want to leave these heels out. I was like trying to compact it down, and I was like, no, there's always this little tab piece, and it connects with that section of the heel. So there we go. Like so. So this is the core piece, which will sit right on top of the foot. We're going to do the other Dragknight real quick, and we can take one and assemble it right here. Same thing with the other, right here. And then, of course, that port that goes in with his hips sticks right there, or the whole thing collapses. All right. You know what? I'm gonna choose to leave that in. All right. So we're building it up from the ground floor. All right. There we go. This piece comes back in. So you can see what I mean about, like, hey, the doing a little bit of force in the wrong way can, like what happened here. It shot out the other way, and all right, there we go. Same thing on this side. Coming around. Oh, you know what? I got it backwards. There we go. And there we go. And I do wish, I mean, again, if I'm talking about like reviewing this toy, something that it needed is a click. If this piece flexed so it clicked around a tab section or something, I think that would be really satisfying. Some sort of like, oh, this is like, yes, correctly transformed, a tactile auditory response to the transformation would be really, really nice. And then we've got these extra pieces, and they're not quite extra. We've got these two tabs or ports up top. We can take off our wings and give World Dragnus like the Hydra Dragon look, which I really think is sick. Over here also. He becomes very like kaiju, right? Big guy in a rubber suit. He could probably beat up the Power Rangers for a little while. I recognize now that I am upside down on the legs because I was doing this one incorrectly. But you can see how like they can go. Again, it's a universal transformation combination piece, like for every piece of his body. So you can absolutely go hog wild. And then we can grow up our camera just a little bit to make sure we've got room. And to use all the pieces, the instructions do show that we can attach the tails on either side here. Let's stick that back in. And this is one of those things where I think, right, the Generations line is definitely targeted at like older collectors. The younger line in America feels like it is the cheapo toy line, but in Japan, it does feel kind of awesome, all these little toys. And then we can take these wing sections and stick them. You know what? I think I want to do it this way. There we go. Same thing on this side. All right, it's super simple. They're called their ultimate mode. So this is ultimate beast mode. And then we'll show ultimate robot mode next. I'm gonna see if I can successfully circumnavigate the instructions a little bit. We're gonna keep these feet on. We're gonna pull off the waist. I meant to pull off the tail, of course. And then we're gonna pull off the feet because, again, that's just how we're dealing with stuff. All right, so this section for ultimate robot mode stays the same. We're gonna take this section and we're gonna pull back our head, get it up and out of there, pull it up, there we go. This head can come all the way down. I think for some reason it wanted us to turn it around the other way. We will. All right, then we can pull off this chest section, and we are, interestingly, I was wrong about this. This tail fin piece, head fin piece, does have a purpose. And we can come in with, can we fit it both ways? No. All right. Like so. So that head fin is out because we can fit it to make our head a little bigger. So it kind of gives the impression that he's not like a little pin-headed guy. Ooh. We're going to put this back on again. You don't have to separate him for transformation. I just kind of accidentally did that. There we go. We can come in and we're going to flip this leg down like so. Same thing on this side. Flip it down like so. Can we keep these in? Again, these like really large like ankle pieces or heel pieces do help with that stability a little bit. We're going to flip around the wrists. We can take these swords, fit them on both ends here, like that. We're going to take these arms. Come on. Put that head back on. There we go. On both ends, take the arms off, and it does have us just stick them on the back. Stick it on, stick it on the back here, like so. With that done, we can take our Energy Beast cores. And these, again, I showed how to transform them in the Spirituan video, but we can take off our crystal. And we have, again, the same ports as before. We can come in and stick an arm here, if it'll let me. And this is where like the customization and the play pattern really shines, is depending on which energy beasts you have, you can absolutely do some crazy combinations with all of them. We can take our head and we can stick it on the end here, like so. Spirituan, same thing. Take off that energy crystal. Stick that head on. The instructions don't show this part. It just shows, I think what it's saying, and again, it's in Japanese, but it's like, here, you can put any beast this way. It makes it like the generic version. And then it's like up to you to like follow the instructions on their individual instruction pages to get like the arms right and all that stuff. We can take our Spirituan's spine piece. That'll go there. We've got our tails. The tails can, if we... Oh no, we're losing stability. Again, kind of like the Energon connectors, like just not the most stable connection. And sometimes like you're fighting it and the joints. All right. Oh boy. All right. We're okay. We're going to take these guys and we're going to flip it around and stick this here. And you can kind of daisy chain the tails out. as much as you want, depending on how many of the energy beasts you are using. Trying to keep him together a little bit. Fingers crossed. There we go. These swords, he can't hold them with his energy beast hands traditionally, but you can always stick them kind of in here, like so. This back piece, because we have that extra clearance, oh no, it doesn't fit there. Oh, I was very convinced it would fit back there. That's okay. We can stick it on the back here to kind of hide it, and we can integrate everything. And then, depending on the energy crystals you have, you can stick them right on his chest. He can fit up to 4 energy crystals. So obviously we've got ground and grass, leaf, and then we've got, you can get water, you can get fire, and I think there's like shadow. But here is World Dragnus' ultimate robot mode. And this is where my review ends, but there's more you can do. He's got 2 instruction pages. I went through all of the orange page, and I did as much of the purple page as possible, but I'm going to flip this around to show, like, if you have Megatron, there's a combination you can do just with Megatron pieces. If you have Optimus Prime, there's a combination you can do with Optimus Prime pieces. They again, like, he combines with everything. For a series about combination, they do such a good job of, and it's like, here's the instructions too on how to like assemble him, and you can rip everything apart. There's so much play pattern here for 40 bucks. It's not the most stable thing. It's not the most articulated thing. It's not the most intricate thing. But to me, this year, it's one of the most interesting things. Getting to play around with the Japanese exclusive Wild King toys has been a lot of fun, and I'm really enjoying it. I am still going to try and get Captain Volca, the Stegosaurus guy, and the Pteranodon, because I want to just play with the energy beast more. I want to play with this guy more. I want to mix and match more. It really captured my favorite part of weaponizers. So again, at import prices, if you're paying $100 for this, not worth it. But if you're paying 40 bucks for it, absolutely worth it. That's it. That's our look at Transformers, Wild King, World Dragnus, and the Dragknights. And I will catch you all later. Bye!